You're watching The Wright Stuff this Monday morning with Kay Adams, Stephen K. Amos, and our special guest, the singer Paloma Faith. In 10 minutes or so, Paloma with the rest of today's headlines. First, though, Gordon Brown's misspelled letter of condolence. You can email your thoughts. Wrightstuff@5.tv is the address. The PM's letter, handwritten letter, was sent to Jackie Janes after her 20-year-old son Jamie was killed by a bomb in Afghanistan last month. The Prime Minister always pens a handwritten letter to the next of kin when a soldier is killed in the line of duty, but this one left the grieving mother angry and upset. She claims it was barely legible, scattered with spelling mistakes, including her surname, which he incorrectly wrote as James, not Janes, her son's name, which he misspelt but then corrected, and a number of other mistakes. It gives the impression it was written in haste, Jackie complained. It's disrespectful, she says. Is it? I mean, at least the PM wrote a letter. And sad to say, he's had a lot to write of late. 232 dead in Afghanistan, 179 in Iraq. I should tell you, Gordon Brown has apparently now telephoned Mrs Janes to apologise for his errors. I mean, Paloma, it strikes me that I mean, if you're going to write the letter, write it properly. I think I can excuse all the spelling mistakes and stuff, but it is quite sad that he didn't get the name right. You know, that's the dodgy bit. In a little while, the mum, followed by police after threatening to smack her kids. She didn't lay a hand on them while a cop was watching, so why did he get involved? 0207 173 5555 is the number for your thoughts. First, though, Paloma, hit me with it. What have you got for us this morning, headlines-wise? This is in the Daily Mail. It's just about experts wanting to ban airbrushing on photos of ladies in advertising because they're saying that it's encouraging children as young as 5 to sort of have low self-esteem. Has that been airbrushed, that one, then? Do we know? Does anyone know? It's hard to tell. I don't know. Are we for or against airbrushing? Personally, I quite like it. Although I have met a few disappointed stares in person. Oh, that's what you look like. Do you think it sends out the wrong message to... Yeah, honestly, I do. If I wasn't being self-centred, I'd say it does. Yeah. It does, but it is quite nice for your personal self-esteem if you're the focus of the photo to think that that's presumably if you were aware that they were doing it to you, because Kate Winslet has a great problem, didn't she, when people were doing it to her without asking her permission. I think there was a famous cover of her, they just thinned her down and she went bananas about that. Well, I've seen some really skinny pictures of me and I'm sure that's not what I look like.
I've seen some really fat pictures of me and wished it was airbrushed. So, I know a lot of people at home feel quite strongly about this. I think airbrushing may be on its way out for adverts. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, the next one is about the shock surge in childline abuse calls reporting cases of women abusing children off the back of this Vanessa George story. It's one of those things, I mean, you kind of think, outside of Myra Hindley and a handful of others, you think it doesn't happen, but, I mean, it clearly does. Well, because people associate women with nurture, don't they? Yeah. So, it's sickening is the title, which it is. But I think children in society are our most vulnerable and should be protected. Yeah, of course. So great for Childline to have that. OK. What else? The next one is a very interesting story, which we're all excited about. Why isn't Cheryl Cole wearing her wedding ring? Oh, my word! She's not wearing her ring? I'm devastated. Oh, my word! What can this mean? What can this mean? What can it mean? Nobody knows. It's tragic. Well, it could mean she's forgotten it. Could mean she took it off... Or lent it. Yeah, lent it to someone. Yeah. Should we read anything into this? No, I think we should skip to the next one. OK. I like your style. The next one is about Morrissey... Oh, this is my favourite story of the day. Morrissey being struck down by a rogue bottle of plastic bottle of water at a gig. Have you ever had anything like that happen to you? If you did, it would just bounce off, wouldn't it, I would think? No, it's happened to you? I have had things thrown at me when I've been on stage. I think that it's hard for people to sort of realise that that the performer is a human being.
Especially if it's Morrissey. Because he walked off, I think he came on, did a few minutes, that happened, then walked straight off.
He walked off because of it.
Well, I can understand why.
So Akon's reacted really horrifically over things like this in the past. If you look on YouTube, he's like got people out the audience and humiliated them for it and stuff. Really brutal. So that they were lucky Morrissey just walked off.
Although I would imagine some of them in the audience would have probably quite liked a bit of brutalisation by Morrissey and the whole of the rest of the show. One of my proudest moments as a teenage pop hooligan was throwing a bottle of water and hitting the bloke from the Thompson twins on the head at Crystal Palace Football Club. Boff! Perfect shot, but I wouldn't recommend it, kids. It's very bad.
Maybe they should take those to the X Factor twins.
Stop touching! What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? Nicely done, Paloma. What do you make of the stressed-out mum, secretly followed by police after threatening to smack her 2 kids when they misbehaved in a supermarket? Unbeknown to her, this Hampshire lady was being watched by an off-duty cop as she ticked off her 11-year-old son and 4-year-old daughter. "How dare you behave like this?" she snapped at them. "If you carry on, you're going to get another hiding like the one you had earlier." The pair shut up, and neither was smacked when they got home. The mum does admit smacking her kids up to 3 times a year, something which is perfectly legal, so long as you don't leave a mark. But then 6 weeks after this incident, 2 cops turned up unannounced at her front door and informed her that she had been followed by a colleague. And sometime after that, she received a letter from Southampton Council's Children's Services telling her the way she chastised her children would be kept on record for at least the next 14 years. The woman, who works in a Christian bookshop, was outraged and is worried about repercussions. "What if my daughter falls over and has to be taken to hospital?" she said. "I'm worried about what conclusions they may come to. I'm being kept on record as an abuser." Now, for their part, Hampshire police claim the incident was no ordinary telling off. Because of what the woman said and the way her children reacted to it, the officer had reasonable grounds for concern. While Southampton Council said writing to parents brought to its attention was... writing down details of what was brought to their attention was standard practice, and that it was very important to keep records of these incidents.
I've never been hit before. I'd say that I agree with you on everything you just said. But I was never smacked, and there were occasions where my mum said, "I'd love to wallop you," but she never did. As you just said, that she said something regarding that she'd given them a hiding before.
Yeah, she'd smacked one of them earlier in the day, the 11-year-old son.
Yeah.
Which is not illegal. It is perfectly legal.
I think it's a shame that it's legal.
When I was at school, we were beaten by our teachers. That was perfectly legal as well.
I would just say hopefully we can move on from from this as we did in the education system. I hope.